Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone on a cold Wednesday night in, I guess we can say, almost late February. It's February at the right time of year for basketball coaches. Will Flemons from Lubbock Cooper. Yes, we're in the Pirate Fan Zone. This is, if you're a basketball fan, a basketball junkie, high school-wise, this is as good as it gets right now. And then college, they'll get their time in the sun here pretty soon. But this is pretty cool for high school teams. It's pretty cool when you get to win the first-round game for the second year in a row and get another road trip to Fort Stockton. I was monitoring your game last night I can't even remember where I was last night. I think I was at the Friendship Girls game watching Trent Hilliard's group. But I was paying attention to your team. You guys took control of that thing in the second quarter, and they made their run. But you guys, the thing about your guys is they're older, maybe a little bit calmer than they've been in the past. They didn't get rattled.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing of it. I thought a couple of our seniors got us off to a great start. Like I said, we got up, maybe 13, 15 points. They made a run back at us, and then, we didn't panic. I think I made a burn a timeout, relax, do what we do. Designed a play to get the ball inside. We went inside out, hit a shot, then went right back inside. And so we're back up again. But it was the seniors' game. Definitely the seniors' game. They pulled us through, and they played well.
You had to calm down Pierce Miller just a little bit, from what I heard from Coach Polite and that fresh-faced radio, that color guy that was doing radio last night. You could hear Chip Darden was the color guy last night. You could hear the coach coming in and saying, "Come on, Pierce, just calm down. It's okay."
He's normally not like that.
No,
but emotions. He had hit a three in transition, then he came back and hit a two. About it right at the free throw line area, and then he comes back and hit a deep three in the corner and gave the gun sign, and you can't do that.
Did you ever do that when you were playing?
No, not at all.
I'm just in my head. I'm trying to see anything but Will Flemons running down the court smiling is all I can think of. Now, in his defense, and I hope I don't know if I've got any Abilene Wylie folks that listen in, and all due respect, they've got a very good athletic program.
Absolutely.
But watching their basketball team the last couple of years, they can bring that out in teams a little bit because they've got some guys that are very good,
very
flapping their gums.
Well, it's very interesting because Abilene Wylie, we were in the district with them, and so we played them all the time, and then we played them this year in a scrimmage, and we know all those guys. So our guys and their guys are pretty much friends, so it's bragging rights.
Yep.
And so you know how you get when you have bragging rights, like playing your brother. You want to beat him, and you want to let him know that you beat him. And it can get a little spirited, but all in all, again, my hat goes off to Coach Ruffin and his players because they do a tremendous job, and I'm very happy about our guys.
And Pierce, you're forgiven. I imagine he may have had to do a little bit of work today.
Oh yes.
Other than that, Pierce had a good game, but the balance, just looking at and listening to Poe and Chip Darden talk about it, you guys had, if they were trying to pick their poison, they couldn't figure it out because you had a lot of guys clicking last night.
We did. You talk about Jaden Bush, he had a double-double. Bodie had a double-double.
Back healthy.
Absolutely. And the only thing we were worried about him is, like, I thought at times I played him too much because he hadn't played in a while, but I'm like, hey, this is either make it or you don't.
Yep.
And and then you had Pierce. But some of the unsung heroes in that situation. Yes. Cade Gant played tremendous. We put him on one of their best athletes, and he held him way below his scoring average. And then Wyatt came in off the bench and gave us a couple of and ones. Played on the inside. Ben played. Earl Black played great for us defense because we rotated him in on that. So it was totally a team effort. And just so happened those guys stood out a little bit. And we had a couple more that played and pitched in. But we were very happy where it's like, hey, this is where we're supposed to be. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's go to the next round.
Is Wyatt a football guy also?
Yes.
Because Chip was very excited when he was talking about him.
Yes.
Because Chip, everybody should know, Chip Darden's father is Chuck Darden, who was a pretty good basketball coach for a long time at Shallow Water. So Chip's been around the game forever. He understands that you have success in one sport, it's going to kick right back to the other one.
Absolutely.
So he was very excited. I don't know if he was excited as you were, because 62-50 in the 5A Division II by district round. Pirates move on to the area round for the second year in a row, where they will face Canutillo, which happened to be the team that your football guys played in the playoffs as well. That is 5 p.m. Friday at Fort Stockton High School. That's not always a scenic trip, but when you get to go for the area round of the playoffs, it's a beautiful trip.
Beautiful trip. We're just happy we're still playing and getting to just play a feisty team that's pretty much guard-oriented, and we got to see what we can bring to the table and maybe try to get some easy buckets on the inside and do what we do.
Second year in a row, and that's big for you guys because your guys now know they're going to see a team they don't see all the time. So that's tomorrow or Friday night. We'll be back on the Pirate Fan Zone after this break on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. Real quick, I'm going to run through that playoff list again. Lubbock Cooper Pirates will be in the 5A Division II area round against Canutillo, 5 p.m. Friday at Fort Stockton High School. I assume it will be right here on 100.7 The Score. We'll try to run a list of everything that's on the radio and live stream. Let's see, 6A Girls Friendship and Fort Worth Boswell in the 6A Regional Championship game, 6 p.m. Friday at Sweetwater High School. Monterey Girls against Argyle in the 5A Regional Championship round, 1 p.m. Friday at ACU. Friendship Boys against Southlake Carroll in the 6A area round. That is 8 p.m. Friday at Abilene Wylie. And the Estacado Boys in the 4A Division I area round against Burke Manette, 7 p.m. Friday at Abilene Cooper High School. 5 UIL teams left from Lubbock. I believe all of those games will be on the radio on Raymar somewhere. Estacado may be over down the dial a little bit, but a lot of guys a lot of coaches that have had very good seasons. You guys are in the area round for the every year you've been at Lubbock Cooper, you've made it to the playoffs. You've chipped away, got to the area round. That next step, we've talked about it before. So now it's time to chop a little bit more wood this week.
We had a little bit of a meeting today. We light practice, lifted, and then we talked about it. We don't let it, make it our main focus. Do what we do. If we do our job, we have a very good chance of making our goals happen. And so that's what we talked about. We're not going to do anything that we don't normally do. You make sure that you do your job, you do your responsibility, make sure you help your teammates out. And that's the biggest key right now. It's not about me. It's got to be about team.
You saw Trent Hilliard come in. He gave me a great quote last night after their game that one of their mottos this year is "We before me."
Absolutely.
That's a great, and you can see the team still playing. You used to do that.
No doubt.
We talked about this between the break. This team's a little bit different for you because I think they're deeper than the teams you had before, and it's not spectacular, dramatic depth.
Right.
It's guys who will check in and do whatever you need them to do. They don't care if they're scoring 15 points. Right. Cade Gant's a perfect example of that. I told you I enjoy watching that guy play in any sport because he puts whatever he needs on his shoulders and goes out there and executes.
Cade's one of those guys that's very versatile for us. We can put him in even at the point guard spot because he played point guard in middle school, and then we can put him at one of the 2 guard or the 3 guard, and then we can put him in as a forward. In our last district game, we had to play him at one of our forward position, 10 points, 7 or 8 assists. I mean, can do a little bit of everything.
That's without Bodie.
That was without Bodie. And, last night we, again, started him and put him in place of Obi that's been ill, and he did a tremendous job on one of their best players and held him way below his average and get double digits and kept him off the glass. And, we got to have those type of guys that's willing to do those things.
You guys have become much better. I want to be polite here. The sum, what's the phrase? You were better because of the sum of your parts this year.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if I said that right. It sounded good. I said it with conviction. So. But you guys, because of the we before me thing, you guys have, to me, you're a team that's more capable. I think playoffs are weird. I'm never going to predict anything. But I do feel like you guys have a good shot to go to hit the road to Fort Stockton and this time get it back on the bus and roll back with another piece of hardware.
Well, we hope so. Again, like you mentioned, we had a taste of it last year. Didn't know kind of what to expect. Guys' eyes kind of wide open. This year we got some guys that's played there, have that playoff experience, understands what we need to have happen. And I think they can go out and if we can control tempo and control the boards, I think we have a very good shot.
Trent Hilliard made a good point of this. A lot of times, when if you take care of business, you'll play a Metroplex team. Sometimes they're not used to getting on the bus and making these trips. This is the second year in a row for your basketball guys making that Fort Stockton trip. Was a little bit longer than a normal district road trip, but it's I want to say it's old hat, but it's familiar to them now. Just like you said, and they know get to school, get on the bus.
Absolutely.
Prepare myself mentally, prepare myself physically. When we get there, they know the environment. That's a big advantage for you guys.
It's huge. It's huge, especially being in a place that you've played prior to, and you brought a lot of those guys back. You know, you have your routine, how you do things in the playoffs, and it started last night, and this is how we're going to continue to do things, and hopefully we are very successful after Friday and can continue to roll.
Has James Reich found you a place to eat down there?
That's his job. He's like, I got it. I'm like, I don't question. I just feed us and the team. We're good to go.
Totally off the beaten path. Until I covered college sports longer, I never understood what a director of ops did, which James did for James Dickey back in the day. Those guys, I don't think they get paid very much. They don't get paid nearly enough.
No. You know, I was in that position once, and then James got the position, so we both understand. So, like, whatever he says, I'm like, I'm fine, whatever you want to do.
Yes. You give him tacit approval. You guys have a great relationship anyway. I enjoy watching you coach. I mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked, it's like James Dickey 2.0 watching James on the bench.
Yes.
But I love and Corey Lynch is your third guy. And remind me who your fourth guy
Dustin
is.
Schulte.
I knew it was I thought it was Dustin. And you said it on the radio in your post game last night. When you get four coaches, when you get a coaching staff that is kind of simpatico and on the same wavelength, that's just as big as the we before me thing. When you guys know how to deal with kids and kids know what they're dealing with you, that's a big thing for a basketball program.
You know, I have so much respect for each one of those guys, and you know, sometimes in a timeout, they're like, okay, we need to do this. I'm like, okay, go ahead and draw it up. Show them what to do. Let's go. Let's roll with it. And my last thing is, hey, did y'all understand it? All right, let's go. You know, because they have the confidence. They have head coaching experience. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. You know, when we go into meetings, we're like, hey, we need to have this drill. And it's not just this drill. Which drill is best catered to our players? And they have great minds and no egos, and that's what you like. I mean, they'll tell you, Coach, that ain't gonna work. We're gonna have this guy and this guy doing that, and I'm like, well, you're right. Let's do it. let's go with yours. You know, the best plan laid out.
Well, and those guys work for a pretty good dude who's been around basketball his entire life. I still would love to go to a Flemons family reunion to see the pickup game there. The pickup, probably more than one. He's got his team in the area, 5A Division II area round, second year in a row. Headed to Fort Stockton to take on Canutillo at 5 p.m. Friday. I think it's right here on 100.7 The Score. Will, good luck getting your guys ready. Have a good trip and bring back some hardware.
Well, we'll appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll be back after this break on 100.7 The Score. We'll jump into the Patriot Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta.